Hi guys, this is Deb with Four Seasons Crafts. So I am going to show you guys how to make a card. I hope you have all had a wonderful day. It was just a beautiful day. I posted earlier about being at our son's tennis match, and that was just a lot of fun. He played well. He lost his first match, and then ended up winning his second, and then they were able to move on to, like, I guess they call it the consolation round, right? So, and then he and his partner won that. They were playing against Whitehall. So, and they were a good team. So it was fun. It was a lot of fun. So, anyhow, all right, we're gonna make a card. I think the last time I posted, I showed you some cards that I got in a swap. So I wanted to share how to make a card using these Abundant Beauty decorative masks. So I think I've shown these before in a video, but I don't think we actually ever made a card with them. So we are going to make a very pretty fall card. Now let me show you these templates again, just in case you did not see them. So these are in the catalog. That's what I wanted to show you first, where they actually were in here, and a little bit about them. And the only reason is they're one of those that you could maybe overlook them because they're not a big stamp. They're kind of off here to the side. And honestly, you look at them and you think, well, that doesn't look like much of anything, but they really are pretty cool. So they make these sunflowers. Aren't those beautiful? And it's all made with these masks. So these masks are $10.50. And you not only get the four that make the sunflower, but then you're also going to get one that makes snowflakes, leaves, and then like a kind of a houndstooth, I think is what I would put it, for a background. So super cool masks. So let me show you how they work, and we're going to make a card. So, and I have a finished card too to share with you. So here they are. I showed them to you in the catalog, so I'm not really sure. Maybe we'll show them just a little bit. But you can see this is the one with all the leaves. And then there's another one with the snowflakes. So you could get this set. And look at this one. It's huge. So it certainly covers like a 5x7, I almost looks like. And then the rest of them are the sunflowers, which we're gonna actually work with those today. All right, so here are the pieces that we are going to need. We're going to need a piece of 11 by 4 1/4, and this is crushed curry, and then it's scored at 5.5. Then you're going to need a piece of early espresso, cut at 3.5 by 4 3/4. And then you're also going to need a piece of very vanilla, and this one is 3.5 by 4 3/4 as well. So these are the same size, only for this piece, we're actually going to take one of the contour dies. So we're going to stamp on this, and then we're going to actually die cut it out. Now let me tell you, this piece of very vanilla is the thick cardstock. Okay, it's not just the regular, because I don't know, sometimes it's just a little better, and we are going to do a little bit, I think, of a little bit of watercolor, just dots on it, and sometimes I just prefer the thicker. So totally up to you guys. Then we're going to need, this is about, I think I forgot to measure it here. Oh, yep, this is about a 1/2 inch. So a 1/2 inch by, let's see, about 3¼ inches. And then I did I used the punch to cut out the end there. And then I just went ahead and stamped this with a greeting. It's called, says a harvest of blessings. That came out of that pick of the patch bundle is where I got that specific greeting from. So, but I liked it. And then this is just a piece of 3/8 by 2¼ and this is just gold foil paper. So we're just going to do a little bit of layering to make our card look a little nicer. And then I had some early espresso. I think this is suede ribbon. And to be super honest with you, I think this came out of the previous catalog. So just use whatever ribbon you have, or, embellishment there that you want to include. All right, so here we go. So we have our piece of cardstock here. So what we're going to do is we are going to move it. We're going to move this stuff out of the way. And let me show you guys how to use this. So I'm going to put it right up here in the corner so it's nice and lined up just in the corner there. Then I have all of these masks, and you can see they have a ridge. See that right there? A little ridge in the corner. And then they have a number on them. And it says, if you guys can see that, boy, it's like shiny, right? Like 1, 2, 3, and 4. And you know what I realize is, you guys, we got kind of a bad glare. Well, I was going to say I'll see if I can find a light, but I don't see one, so sorry for that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to turn them over this way. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4. That's our order. And we're going to start with number 1. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to place it on our cardstock, and I'm just going to line it on our grid paper. So it's right there up against that line. Well, actually, I guess I can't do that because I want it to line up. I want this piece, I guess, to line up more. So I'm just going to put it right about here. Now, you guys are already going to see that I don't have, actually, I'm going to move it up just a tad, and then my piece of paper goes on the corner, and then my template here is going to go straight across the top. So let me just get this lined up. Now, you guys could use tape. By all means, put a little piece of tape on the back of it. That might be the easiest thing to do. But personally, I think once you get one of these set, to be super honest with you, you just layer the rest on there. It's pretty easy to line them up. All right, so what we're going to do, this is our color palette. Let me show you that next. So these are the colors we're going to use. We're going to use pumpkin pie, early espresso, pecan pie, crushed curry, and mossy meadow. All right, so we're going to start with our crushed curry. So all you need outside of these masks is your ink pads and your blending brushes. That's it. So it is pretty easy to make this card. All right, now here I'm going to bring out my yellow. So I'm just going to run that across here. And then I'm going to just dab a little bit. And then I'm just going to start to do it in like circular motions around each one of these sunflowers here. And hopefully you guys can start to see that. Oops. Oh. Now I moved it, but there we go. I just need to get it lined back up. There we go. So I probably should tape it, right? Okay, so I'm going to do another little swoosh of that. And now I will put it in this one where it's a little bit darker. Again, going around each one of them. And it's always better to grab a little bit of the ink. And again, we're kind of starting in the middle and then working our way to the outside. So there we go. So that is round 1. Isn't that beautiful? Oh. All right. Now I'm looking and I'm thinking, well, I probably could go a little darker around the edges, but I think we'll just stick with that. Now we're going to take our second one here, and I'm going to just lay those right in the middle. You guys can see. Okay, so I got the notch in the same corner, and now I'm just going to set that right in the middle there. And now I'm going to switch colors, and I'm going to go to pumpkin pie here. And I'm going to, I don't have enough brushes yet, so not to be deterred, I am just going to take the yellow off, and then I'm going to put this one right inside my brown or pumpkin pie there. And again, just put a little bit off to the side and make sure this is all lined up. And then I'm just going to go over each one of these. So again, just tap that in, do a little bit off to the side so we don't get a big blob of color there. And just work our way around. All right, so as I'm doing this, I want to tell you guys, so I am going to be starting something new tomorrow. I need to lose some weight. So I'm sharing it with you. Maybe it's a little bit of an accountability. So I'm going to take you on that little journey with me. And I am going to work on losing some weight. So I'm going to give you guys some updates. Now, this is in no way, shape, or form. I am not selling anything. I'm not doing anything with any company, nothing like that. Strictly kind of on my own here. But I'm looking forward to it. And I've just really struggled. I've always struggled, and I'll kind of share my little story with you guys, but it has just always been a challenge for me. And so I decided I've got to do something. And so I thought, well, that'll give us something to talk about, won't it? It is just not an easy thing for me at all. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to tell y'all. So now I'm accountable. I'm sharing with you. So I will give you an update every week. Okay, now I think I just did this wrong, actually. I think I put the wrong, I did. I kind of put the wrong color there. Well, that was kind of dumb, wasn't it? What a dingleberry. Okay, so you know what we're going to do? We're just going to have to cover that up a little bit. I can't believe I did that. You know what, guys? That's not going to work. Okay, we're going to turn it over. I'm going to have to do this again because I can't believe I did that. All right, well, that's all right. We all mess up, right? And I just messed up big time. So I took them out of order, and I thought I had them in the correct order, but I did number, this does say number 3, doesn't it? This is number 4. That was my issue. Okay, so I didn't do it correctly. I was supposed to do my leaves next, so that's all right. Okay, here we go. Here we go, guys. We're going to start over with yellow. All right. So real quickly, now that you know what to do, right? Here we go. All right. And take that off. If I didn't know any better, this looks a little darker. I think because I'm getting a little more ink on there than I have in the past. All right. Ta-da! So it is a little darker than the other side, but I kind of like it. This one's a little lighter. So we're going to run with this. Okay, now we're going to do number 2. Number 2 here, right? Because the leaves are number 3. Or number 2, I'm sorry. Let me just double check here. Yep, leaves are number 2. And we're going to do those kind of last. So, all right. So I'm going to do this here in pecan pie, which is what I should have done. Right? and I didn't. So we're gonna move that off to the side, get our pecan pie back out. And so what I'm gonna do here is I'm just gonna run this over just to make sure that I don't have any, there we go. Okay, that'll work. Okay, so we're gonna put our light color down, which is pecan pie. All right, now this should work better. Now you guys can use any colors, and I am telling you, there are, don't just, when you think of sunflowers, sometimes you just think, oh, okay, the yellow and the browns, and there are some absolutely beautiful, beautiful colors out there that people are using to create these, and they really are stunning. So, all right, so there we go. We're gonna line up our next one. Only now we're gonna use our early espresso, which I have off camera here, but you get the gist. All right. So when you do it in the right order, it's gonna look beautiful, right? So I showed you what not to do. Now I'm gonna show you. Now this will be what you should do. All right, so there you go. So can you guys see that? It is just stunning. It's absolutely stunning. I love it. I love it. I love it. So there you go. So you're going to use those templates, and then I am going to bring this one in. This is the leaf, and I didn't put it on the other sample that I'm going to show you, but let's go ahead and do it here because I think it's going to give us just a different look. So we're going to use Mossy Meadow for our color, and we're going to just move those off to the side. So anyhow, I'm just gonna put these right about there. So you'll see a little bit of green on the sides here. But it's so cool because there's really, honestly, there's no real, you don't have to know, like, oh, I gotta line this up. Literally, you lay it down, you line up the corners, and look at that. Oh, I love it. I wish you guys were right here so you could see it. All right, so now we have that done. So now what we're gonna do is I wanna show you, if you take, so you could take just this if you wanted and leave it just like that. Or you could run it through now your embossing folder, and it will actually give it some texture on top. So that's what I want to do, because I want you guys to see what some of that texture will do to it. And I did this to another one, so I don't know, maybe I should do one with and one without, but I really want you to see it. All right, so we're going to put our machine in here. And then we just need our number 1 plate and our number 4 plate. Okay, so we're gonna put this down. And again, remember always to put your flat edge in. And then we're gonna put this in there. And now we're gonna run her right through. Oops, hopefully not too much shaking. And now, ta-da! Oh, we're gonna need that again, but we're gonna need it for something different. So now I hope you guys can see this. The little texture in there. Oh, it's so pretty. I love it, I love it. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna run it through our embossing folder, and we're going to cut it out, or not our emboss machine, only now we're gonna cut this out around it. So now we have some scalloped edges. All right, so now we're gonna need plate number 1, plate number 2, and then 2 plates of number 3. So pretty straightforward. We do need to make sure this stays pretty straight, but I think that's good. And then we'll just run that right through here. Make sure, yep, all right. The nice thing is too, those sunflowers, they could be a little crooked, right? And no one really would be the wiser. Now, one of the things too, you guys might want to consider as I did this, oops, is you could also do your die cutting first and then run it through your embossing folder. Because sometimes when you run it through, you'll lose a little bit of that texture, but I don't think we lost too much. Hopefully you can kind of see it there. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is we are going to assemble our pretty card with the other pieces that we mentioned that we had here. And there's my ribbon. All right, so now all we're gonna do is take our card base here, get this out of the way, and we're just gonna score that with our bone folder here. That's something I'm planning on starting in October 1st. We're gonna do kind of a series on all the different elements that are out there, like products and stuff. I thought, oh, that would be kind of fun. Okay, now before I actually glue this down, I want to put a piece of ribbon around it. So normally I take a whole piece of ribbon and then I show you guys how to tie it in a bow. So this time what I want to do is show you, and one of the gals I craft with, her name is Nikki, and she does a lot of this. I know a lot of other people do too, but every time she does it, she always, I don't know, it just reminds me of, oh, that is such a much easier way. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a piece of ribbon and we are going to wrap it around our card, okay? And then we are going to adhere this here. So I am going to take a piece of tear and tape because I do not have, let me see real quickly, right behind me. Okay, I have some old tape. I'll just use this. All right, so what we're going to do is we're just going to adhere this right down, this piece of ribbon. There we go. And now we're going to adhere it right to our card. So we'll use our Tombow glue here. And then, and this is like so much easier. I don't know why I don't do it more often. So it always is nice when I see other people do this because it reminds me, oh, I think I'll do it that way. Then I already tied this bow just to save time. So this is literally just a bow. It's so much easier. And now I can trim this up. And now I'm just going to take a glue dot and I'm going to put it right here on my card. Okay. But before I do, let me go ahead and adhere this onto my piece of cardstock here, just so the bow doesn't get squished. And we're just going to put that, let me make sure this is opening in the correct spot. And now I'm just going to pop this right in the center. That, right. Then I'm going to take this little guy right here. Now I'm going to cut the end of this off. So I want it to be just a little tighter. And then I'm just going to take this and pop it underneath there like this. So it's just a matter of adding a little bit of dimension and a little bit more color to it. Oops. A little glue there. So I'm just going to take that and now I'm going to pop it right underneath. This is a great way, you guys, to use up scraps too, if you have them. All right, so let me put our ribbon on and then we're going to put our greeting on. That way we know it falls in a good spot. So I'm going to take just a glue dot here and put that down. And we're just going to pop it right here, right on line, right on top of that piece of ribbon. So look at it, actually looks like, you guys, we tied it in a bow. I mean, how cool is that, right? Your recipients will never be the wiser unless you tell them. All right, now we're going to go ahead and we're going to add some dimensionals to our greeting here. And that'll be that. And look at that. Now we don't want to cover up all the pretty that we just did with our pretty sunflowers here. So we want to make sure this gets a chance to peek out. And there you guys go. Isn't that pretty? And I wish you could see it maybe a little closer, but the actual embossing in the back really adds to it. I think it's beautiful flat, but I think this adds a nice color. Okay, now let me show you this one. This is the other one that I did. And you'll see there's like little speckles. All I did was take my water painter and I added some of the color to this clear block, and you just make it like into watercolor, and then you just go like this and tap it across it. So I should have done that, but I forgot. So, all right. Hey, Amy, thank you for joining. So I hope you love it. And stay tuned for the saga to continue. So next week, I'll tell you what my progress is. And hopefully I won't be crying and I'll be having something to be joyful about. But all right, you guys, thanks much. We'll talk to you later. Have a good night. Bye.